Hi everyone, this is Citlalli
And Jennifer.
from the Mexica movement, and today we're going to give you a brief glimpse into what we mean by self-hate and self-hating attitudes and personalities and behaviors that we have in our community. For example, we have the tendency to, for example, if a child is born, and this is the one I'll share with you because it's very common, if the child looks like he or she may be light skinned, he or she may have color green or color blue eyes, there's an exaggeration. They're almost going to throw a party for the mere fact that the baby might be light skinned, blue eyes, or green eyes. And I've seen this myself. I mean, the parents gather around, the family gather around, and they're like, oh my God, it looks like he's going to have blue eyes. There's something, it kind of looks green. Or, the poor child's like, man, be happy I was born, I'm healthy, And it's like we're imposing our self-hate on this child that just joined our planet, and we're already infecting that child with self-hate. So if that child is light or blue eyes or green eyes, I mean, that's beautiful. But the fact that we're going out of our way to exaggerate and to completely glamorize this type of features in our community teaches the darker skinned ones that they're ugly and that they don't deserve the same type of attention, affection, and appreciation in our community. And that's not acceptable.
Another thing that our young girls do is dye their hair or streak their hair blonde. Their eyebrows are not blonde, so their hair shouldn't be blonde. We should teach them that with their hair color that they were born, they're beautiful. Whether they're dark
skin or
light skin.
We're beautiful people.
Yes.
Another thing that we do out of self-hate is, for example, say, my cousin comes to the house and she's really excited about this guy she met. And she's like, oh, he's so smart, he's intelligent, he's funny, but he's so dark, And then the grandma pops in and says, oh, mija, no te cases con ese moreno. The grandma says, don't get married to that dark skin. Hay que mejorar la raza. Let's better the race. I'm not making this up. These are the type of things that we are saying in our communities. We are discriminating each other based on skin. We are showing an absolute exaggerated preference for light skin, and that's disgustingly racist, and we have normalized it, and we are accepting it, and we're not challenging it, and it's time that we stopped and we confront it. That's another example of self-hate.
Another one is when our girls call each other Hispana or Latina. They are neither of the two, but they don't know the difference unless we stop calling each other that. They are Mexican and they keep on saying Latina. I don't think they're of Latin descent, but unless we change that, they're going to keep identifying as that. And that is another example of self-hate.
Exactly. And when we're talking about self-hate, we're not blaming our people for doing these things and acting this way. But once you know the history, we have an obligation to put a mirror to our community and to say we need to stop this racist behavior. We need to stop the self-hate because it's destructive, it's damaging, and it's infecting a new generation of kids that could be working on their education, that could be looking out for the collective benefit of the community, and they're not because they're being so preoccupied and they're being so indoctrinated with this white supremacy ideology of beauty and of this false complex of inferiority that doesn't exist and should not exist. And another example of self-hate is, for example, the education system. I know you probably went through it, for sure we went through it, is the divisions that we have among our communities. For example, in my high school, there was division among those Mexican Central Americans that just arrived. Where they would be at, where they were socialized, they would call that little TJ. Okay? And I know some of you must be nodding your heads because you all know what this is about. This is about self-hate. What does that mean? That means that those of us that have been here longer, we feel that we're better than them, because they don't know how to speak English, or they don't know how to dress, or they're not dressed hip. So that creates a false superiority in our mentality, in our community, where those of us that have papers against those of us that don't. Those of us that have been here longer against those of us that just got here. And that's also a form of self-hate because we are putting each other down and we're dividing ourselves based on the premise of this European hierarchy of papers, legality, and all that nonsense.
And if we don't start addressing these issues, we will remain divided. And we have so many other things to focus on as a community and as a people that if we don't start addressing these, it's just our problems are just gonna get bigger and bigger.
We're a beautiful people. Once we realize that, once we learn that for ourselves, we need to start educating the youth of our beauty, of our true history and our identity. And we need to confront this racism. Even if it's in your own family, you have the obligation to put an end to this racism and to this self-hate. That's it.
That's it, yeah.
This is the message for today. This is Citlalli
And Jennifer.
from the Mexica movement. And remember, we need to confront this. We need to learn our history. And we need to put a stop to this inner racism, this self-hate that's killing our communities. It's killing our self-esteem. It's killing our mentality. It's killing our love of who we are.
The Mexica.
The Mexica. Thanks for watching.